Patel plays Sunny in our movie, a lover, man with a beautiful heart. Natasha plays Natasha in the movie also. New talent, two good places. Bollywood. Shiv Darshan, he plays Dev in the film. Protagonist of sorts, looking for a bright career in films. He's everyone's best. And me, Suneel Darshan, I've been here for over 3 decades now. Made 15 movies, launched several careers, trying to make one more attempt by bringing these 3 actors into the front line. How it was conceived? Well, I was flying from London to New York a few years ago, and I was reading a magazine. I saw a very interesting poster in it. It's a set of posters, and 5.5 hours or 6 hours of flight time. So many posters, so many imagination runs through them. The filmmaker normally doesn't think politics, doesn't think finance. He normally thinks cinema, and that's what I did. I actually wove a story around those posters. Came back to India, started writing, and put up this story of Haseena Thi. When I met Upen, he was much younger, full of life, enthusiasm, a bit over the top, rash. Rash is right. And since then he's mellowed. Has started understanding cinema, which is the most beautiful thing that's happened to him. He's understanding the nuances of performance. He's understood so much more, and with a little more work, he'll perfect his diction and his voice modulation, and that's what happens. A lot of big stars take time. I worked with an actor who took 10 years to actually get out of his shell. Fast. Shiv. Shiv is a difficult way to define him as a father, because he's a lovely child. But as an actor, I would say he is actually a mature actor. He's an intelligent actor who uses his mind. He's subtle. He's not very aggressive. But he's thinking. Almost a year ago, June 2016, I was hungry one evening and I decided to open that Bombay salad bar in Bandra to pick a bite. And I went in, took a table, sat down. Just across the table, I saw this girl sitting. She was not as lean as she is today. She's more polished, refined in this one, casual, sitting there, ordering, and talking to a friend who's sitting with her across the table. And I kind of interesting face. What was more interesting than the face was her mannerisms. And in that little conversation that she had, I saw 101 expressions there. I said, I've heard of actresses who had a remarkable career because they had 10 good variations. Now here's a girl with 101 variations. What would this girl do? So I got myself to be introduced to her and proposed the movie to her. And she was smart. She knew she should take it up. And the next thing we knew was we were doing a photo shoot. I called Upen and Shiv, who already finalized the film. And we shot them together. And she looked perfectly right for the camera. She needed a bit of grooming, which she hadn't done. It was not acting to her then. What I felt for cinema. So it was about 2 or 3 months of grooming. Thereafter, she learned horse riding. She's supposed to be quite a champ in action. What is that? Martial arts, right? Yeah. So we put all this together, and about 3 months' time, we're ready to start.
My first reaction was I blanked out. I spaced out. Everybody were talking and I was like, is this really happening? Because you know it's a dream and you've been waiting for the right moment, and when it's right there staring at your face, you don't know whether you should believe in it or not. And it took me 2 hours to recover from that whole thing. And yes, we had a photo shoot 2 days after, and from then till now, my experience with Sir has been. I don't think there would be a proper word to summon up the whole thing. It's been a very learning journey for me, but also very emotional journey because being a newcomer, not coming from an acting background, he never ever made me feel that I can't do it. He placed his faith in me, and as a person, I decided I should surrender to my director. And through that whole process, I learned that it's very good to be a director's actor because you can connect to his creation and be the vision he sees. So, yes, I was like a blank canvas, had no knowledge. But Suneel sir has been a very great mentor, and he's been my anchor. Apart from the two lovely gentlemen here, my God, they have made sure to guide me in whatever aspect they could during the shot. We'd rehearse, we had workshops, and they never bullied me. But what I learned from them as well is that you must be focused no matter what. Behind the camera, in front of the camera, when you're performing, when you're rehearsing, you must be very honest. And this word honesty, it comes from our director. He's very honest and very passionate about his work, about cinema, about his creation. That it's just passed down to us.
When we speak of Suneel Darshan, for me, I wouldn't call him a director or producer. I like the word filmmaker. Because a lot of people don't realize with Sunilji, and he's a very modest man. I always argue with him about this, but he's involved in every aspect of this movie, which makes him a filmmaker, not just a director or a producer. You know, he's involved from the screenplay, he's involved in the music. And when I mean music, I remember he played me a track once. It was a scratch track of the title song. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And he was like, no, I'm going to add this guitar here and this instrument here. His knowledge of music, you know. So he's part of the whole process. He doesn't just select a company or select a writer, but he's actually part of that process. So he's a complete filmmaker. And any knowledge I have about cinema comes from Sunilji. You know, he's been a mentor in my life. Even from when I started to now, if you see my growth as an actor, as a human, you know, to be calm or be a good human being, or certain quotes I give, they all come from Sunilji. And not just Sunilji, but even Shiv, you know, they make you part of their family. They're very open. And what really makes me perform or do my best or be honest to my work is his faith and belief in me. You know, when we do scenes, he'll take me aside. You know, we have a wonderful chemistry because I've worked with him before. So I think he knows what he can get out of me, how much he can push me, what I need to do. He knows how to handle me. There are certain aspects sometimes I can get very obsessive in filmmaking. I can get very aggressive, but he knows how much to handle me, where to push me. And I'm always grateful for his guidance. When Haseena Thi Deewana happened, I remember him calling me and said he's ready with something. And he had just written the first half. And we met in a coffee shop. And the first thing about this movie that got me was the title, you know. And for him, it was just a working. And I was like, wow, what a great title. And I'm just happy that he sees me part of his cinema. It was wonderful working with Shiv as well, you know. It doesn't feel like he's a newcomer. And I'm not just saying that because I've worked with a lot of, I could say, who are superstars now. And at no point did I think Shiv was a newcomer. He's very hardworking. Obviously, comes from the upbringing. He's very like Sunilji. He's very calm. He's very, you know, they think before they talk. Well, I'm the opposite.
It was a very professional kind of a relationship, okay, on set. So he was the filmmaker, I was his actor.
She would always call him sir on set. It was never made to feel like he was dad, or it was always sir.
And so he's never shouted at me or scolded me in personal life. But if I would kind of fumble a line or make a technical error, he would give it to me there. So it was a fabulous experience working with him because my previous movie was not directed by him actually. It was only produced by him. So yeah, I had a ball. I learned a lot from him actually in this movie. And the one thing that I really took from him in this movie was the fact that how to get the best work in the minimum amount of time. Yeah. So I had a fabulous experience. Cinema always was passion. The filmmaker's passion was translated into celluloid earlier. Then one day, celluloid disappeared, and cinema went digital, and cinema became content. You know, so that change, if you understand, it's not just about words; it's also about attitudes. And somewhere, content replacing cinema, and it was great because technology, was very helpful. You could do so much. Your imagination doesn't have boundaries now because of technology. But somewhere, I personally feel that the restraints have come because everything has become like a business. Of course, cinema needs to have business to survive, but you can't. It's not about just creating this content, keeping business in mind. At least we as filmmakers never did that. We tried to build cinema. Cinema used to be big, but the bigness came from its vision and not just from budgets. That is one major difference that's happened in cinema over the last few decades. For me, I want to communicate with the highest number of people. When I made Janwar, I knew that I was going to communicate with that man on the street. I'm going to win him over. And it didn't matter to me if the 10% of the creme de la creme was going to, maybe not connect with my movie. But I was very, very sure that every common man would connect, and that's exactly what happened with the movie. With Ek Rishta, I did a reverse. I'm going to communicate with the family, and the whole film was planned and designed in a purpose. Today, when I'm making Ek Haseena Thi, Ek Deewana Tha, I do understand that the percentage of viewers of cinema in cinema halls has gone down radically, majorly. And you only watch films in cinema halls if you really find some extreme USP in the film. So a film with 3 newcomers, a new location, and existing circumstances to get audience to watch that cinema hall is going to be a very, very difficult experience. But nothing is difficult if you're honest and if you're focused. And with this belief, I set out to make this movie. And now that my music, which plays such a major part in all my movies, Nadeem has worked the most, I think, with me. I think we've done 7 or 8 movies together. And this is one of his most amazing tracks, He also is staging a comeback of sorts. So I thought we would deliver a great music album, and that would attract the viewers and bring you back to cinema again.
I'm playing Natasha, and as a character, she's very fearless and very honest and takes life the way it comes. And she's a very loved person in her family. Everybody loves her, everybody looks up to her and looks out for her rather. So she has a very protective father, very protective best friend, and that's always been her world. But suddenly, there's another world she discovers, and she realizes she's very hungry for love, even though she has love in her life. And that's the kind of love that burns the fire in your soul, and that can only be quenched by that, that one person whom you really, really fall for, and she falls for Dave. So then she turns out to be very passionate, very aggressive, very fearless, like, that's it, I want him, and that's the end of it. So she is a very strong character, and but yet she transcends from every emotion, from happiness to sadness to anger to disbelief, and again to love. And I think love holds that strength for her. So yes.
So Sunny is a guy who thinks with his heart, not with his head. Even though his head might tell him it's wrong, but he goes with his heart. He believes in love. He believes in hope. He believes in standing by the person. There's a very famous saying that if you love someone, you set them free, and if they come back, it's meant to be. And I think he goes with that line. He's very protective about the people he cares for, and That's the most beautiful thing about this character. And when Sunilji wrote this character, Sunny, what really got me is the graph of this character. Because there is no one line that can describe Sunny. And I think everybody would like to have a Sunny in them as a human. Because it's a wonderful thing to be able to put other people before you. It's a wonderful thing to love someone so much that you want to see them happy, even if you're not happy. Which is hard to do, and I would actually always argue with Sunilji and say, does this really happen? But his cinema is about giving hope to love, and I think with my character Sunny, that's what he does. He gives people hope that we should all have a Sunny inside us.
Mischievous, enigmatic, passionate. Everything about Dev is really perplexing, right? From the way he dresses up, his poetic flair for the language, his deep, intense, unbreakable love for Natasha. He radiates this eternal charm of soulfulness and love. That particular feeling when you complete me. And yeah, when I'm sure the audience is going to get hooked onto this character and be intrigued by him.
I'm quite delighted to have made this movie, to have attempted and achieved the film, to be honest. Because it was a difficult film. It was when you set out to make a movie with relative newcomers, you have a certain vision, a certain expectation, and then you get out, you're a bit uncertain because you don't know whether the newcomers are going to manage to deliver those pitches. But not for a moment in this movie did I feel I was working with three people who are relatively newcomers to this cinema of mine, and to cinema itself also. And they were all mature, they were focused, they knew what was happening, and they knew what they needed to deliver. And I would say at most of the evenings after pack up, when we went home, we actually wanted to clap for ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
I hope I'm not sounding too oblivious.
We did.
Yeah.
I thought we enjoyed working on the film. We were not
But I just want to interject there. There's a lot of things. See, when you're working with someone of the caliber of Sunilji, he's worked with some of the bigger superstars, Amitabh Bachchan, Akshay Kumar, Kareena. So we ourselves feel that pressure. So we want to give our best. Because everybody has a wish list of directors. We've grown up watching cinema, Hindi cinema, and Sunilji cinema is also in there for us. And the wonderful thing about Sunilji when you're working with him, he's the only director that I know who directs without listening to sound. So what he's doing, when he's watching the monitor, he's only watching the performance and seeing if he can feel the emotion. And I have great tuning with Sunilji, so I know, he will never say great shot, he'll say, okay, that means it's perfect. But he does this thing with his eyes, where he blinks twice, that means he's not sure. So I know this. So I would look at Sunilji, he's blinked twice, sir, I'll just do one more, sir. Yes, Upen, I think, yeah. So I have that lovely tuning with him. And when I feel I've given my best, and I looked at him where he's going to say, amazing shot, great. He's like, okay.
Yeah, it's just okay.
But and you know that, but then you think, okay, this is a man who's working with Amitabh Bachchan, Akshay Kumar, so that okay is a big thing for us. Yeah. And I think there was a scene me and Shiv were doing in the stable. It was in the stable shot, and I remember it was a really nice, intense scene, and he's going through a lot of conflict at that time. I'm also going through the conflict, and we come together. I think for the first time in the movie,
yeah.
We come. It's a beautiful conflict scene, and I think we did it in about 2-3 shots, but we wanted to do it in much more. But he's so happy, and I went, Sunilji, can I do one more? Just one more. So he was like, you can do one more, but I'm going to use this one. So you want to do one more? No problem. So he knows what he wants, and he knows exactly what he wants from actors, from performers. He's seen the best at work, and that's encouraging. And it's just a wonderful experience to work with someone like that.
I have never actually viewed cinema that way. As a filmmaker, I always thought I set out to achieve something and got down to work. I'll tell you what, I needed to just be comfortable on the set. In fact, there was a movie I was about to start once upon a time, and that movie had it was designed for a very big star who we had to drop out. And then I was approached by a very, very successful and a good actor of that time to play the role. And I almost okayed until I met another actor who was down and out, who had some 15 flops.
Say some names, sir.
Akshay Kumar, And the only thing I felt about him was when he was talking, he came across so sincere. I said, अगर 10% भी झूठ बोलता, तो 90% तो deliver करेगा. You know. Now in that process, what happened? I lost out on a big table profit and stuff like that, but that was okay for me. I'm a man of figures. I come from a distribution background. Over 500 films I must have distributed, and some of the biggest money guys in the business today in Bollywood have somewhere taken off with me. But if you ask me personally, I'm more into content and creativity, into cinema, not content, cinema content and creativity. And I just want my film Haseena Thi, Deewana Tha, to be watched and loved by people, because the film is about love.